Did you know that there are some pretty cool features within Serato DJ Lite? Yes, that free version of Serato that nobody seems to talk about. Now, on this channel, I know I focus a lot on rekordbox and the free version of rekordbox, which in my opinion is still a lot more comprehensive than the free version of Serato. However, in this video, I'm going to jump on and show you some of my favorite settings that you can change, adapt, and use in order to get the most out of this platform. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so welcome into Serato DJ Lite, and for the purposes of this demonstration, I am using my trusty DDJ FLX-4. Of course, this is compatible with both rekordbox and Serato. Now, I would say rekordbox is more optimized for this controller, but nevertheless, you are still going to be able to have a pretty good time and have a comprehensive DJ experience with Serato and both Serato DJ Lite and Serato DJ Pro on this controller. One thing to note on Serato DJ Lite, there is no record function in this software, and so I am going to be relying on, unfortunately, the speakers picking up the sound in my microphone today. I'm really hoping that kind of comes through. Luckily, I'm going to be talking for a lot of it rather than showing you mixing, but I don't have an external recorder plugged in today. So I'm hoping that the sound is going to come through all right, because normally I record directly in rekordbox. First and foremost then, let's talk about the crossfader. That is setting number one that I want to talk about today. Of course, the crossfader mixes from the left to the right, but a lot of DJs will have this switched off because they use the up faders to mix. Now, of course, on the FLX-4, we do not have independent crossfader controls actually on the mixer panel. So in order to switch this off in Serato DJ Lite, what you want to do is come to the settings, come to the mixer display here, come to crossfader, and then you can toggle on and off the disable button there. If you have it disabled, of course, it means that the crossfader won't impact your mix, meaning if you accidentally knock it, it won't suddenly switch off your track. There is also crossfader curve options within this too. Let's come out of the settings, and now let's talk about the sampler and the effects settings, because I think there are some quite cool effects and the sampler you also get for free within Serato DJ Lite. So if you come to the left of the logo above the left-hand deck, you'll notice there's a little air horn and the effects button here, which are both open within the free platform. So the air horn is the sampler. I'm going to talk about that more in a moment. But next to that, you have FX. So we're going to tap that on here. And this is basically all of your effects controls in one panel just below the waveform here. Let's talk about the beat effects first and foremost. So just like with rekordbox, if we use the effects selector on the DDJ FLX-4, we can select some different effects. I'm just going to scroll through now. We have a high pass filter, low pass filter, flanger, echo, reverb, and a phaser. Not as comprehensive as rekordbox, and they aren't really DJM style effects. However, it is a something, and you control these in exactly the same way. So let's just have the flanger activated for now. So flanger is on. Now, if I was to play a track, I'm really hoping that comes through. You switch it on and off in exactly the same way. So using this button, and there we have the flanger active. You can control the level and depth using that dial, just like on rekordbox, and then you can scroll through the beat value using those buttons too. Now, with this, it only goes up to 8 beats. You can see on screen there 8 beats. And you can scroll down to 1/16 of a beat. I think that is a little bit more limited in terms of range in comparison to rekordbox, but nevertheless, there are some beat effects there. So yeah, you can have some fun with that, and there are some different effects to choose from. Not as comprehensive, but nevertheless still a fun time to be had. In the middle of the effects panel, you're going to see the filter and dub echoes, and these control the color effects dials, which are here. Again, not as many as Rekordbox, but nevertheless, two of the main ones that you're probably going to be using the most. And you can simply toggle between the two of them. So let's try the filter first and foremost. And then the dub echo. Okay, and it could not be easier just to toggle between the two, so you've got two settings for that. Now, when it comes to the smart color effects, there is only really one on Serato DJ Lite. So if you have this active and you have filter activated as the channel effect, it kind of does like this echoey out, dub echo out thing with a filter. It's quite strange. I can't really describe it, but I'll just show you. Yeah, as you can see there, it's kind of like an echo out with a filter over the top of it. That's the only way to describe it. But yeah, you can have a bit of fun with that. So those are the effects. The next setting I want to talk about is the sampler. Now, the reason why I want to talk about the setting is because the sampler performance pad here actually serves two purposes. You can either have your samples loaded onto these performance pads and trigger them using these buttons here, or you can actually use the sampler pad to activate stems. So stems mapping on Serato DJ Lite is a lot more simple than doing it on Rekordbox, because I had to film a video about actually how to map stems to the buttons, and you had to disable a function to enable stems. Watch that video in full where I explain it if you want to map stems in Rekordbox to your FLX-4. It is possible, but it's a bit more long-winded. So in your settings, what you need to do is come to DJ preferences, and here you'll say on control preferences we have replace sampler pad mode with stems. If you have that enabled, it will not enable the sampler, it will enable stems. So I'm gonna just deselect that for the time being and come out. Now, with regards to the sampler, you'll see that I only have one button illuminated, and that is because if we load the sampler, which is this air horn here, you can have up to 4 samples per deck loaded. So this top row could be illuminated. So if I look at this scratch sample, it's like a little scratchy sound. So that is loaded there. Now you can also trigger that within the software just by hitting play. Hopefully you're able to hear that. So that is how you load your sample, and you can't record samples within Serato DJ Lite, but you can import them as audio files and load them into the pads there, and then therefore you've got them at the touch of your fingers if you have the sampler mode enabled. However, we also have the option to replace that sampler with stems. So what I want to do here is just enable that setting, so replace sampler pad mode with stems. And then we come out here, and you'll notice that these 4 buttons are now illuminated, and that is because stems has been enabled. Now, in order to see what stems are being activated and deactivated, come to the left-hand side or the right-hand side, depending on what deck you're playing on, and load up this little icon here. Press this little icon here that looks like different sort of lines, and you can see here we have the 4 stems. So we've got vocal, melody, bass and drums. So now when I hit play, I've got nothing available there. I'm just going to bring the drums back. Obviously we have no vocals at the moment, so it's not going to show you that, but this is how we map our stems to the controller. So it's very good Obviously stems in Serato is a lot more advanced when it comes to quality over rekordbox. Loads of people say that anyway. But a cool and quick setting to get stems at your fingertips within Serato DJ Lite. If I had a vocal track, it probably would be better, but that's how you do it anyway. So there we go. I'm not going to play around with it too much, and also I don't want to get taken down by copyright. So we have our sampler and we have our stems. Now, if you have this stems mode enabled, of course you can still play your samples, but you're just going to have to press play on the actual pad itself. So it is possible to do both, but that is very much available to you. Now, the other setting that I want to talk about is the beat jump mode. When it comes to beat jump within Serato DJ Lite, you are going to be quite limited. It will only forward and reverse your beat jump by 1 bar. And when it comes to quantize, this is not available within Serato DJ Lite. So just be careful when you're using beat jump. It is quite a limited feature. So just please bear that in mind. Now, the other setting I want to talk about is also the beat loop. So when it comes to beat looping, okay, you can do this within the interface. So you have to hold shift and you select the beat jump button, okay? Now when you select a pad, it will, okay, activate a beat loop. And then in order to extend it, even though the buttons are not illuminated, you can just cycle through the different lengths. So you got 1 in the top left, 2, 4, 8, but 8 is the maximum beat loop that you can do, and you can see on screen the length of your beat loop. So there we have it, some features and settings available in Serato DJ Lite completely for free in order for you to get the most out of your software. Now, I would say, as I said at the start of this video, Serato DJ Lite is not as comprehensive as what you get for free on rekordbox, especially with a hardware unlocked device. However, can you use it to put together a DJ set? Absolutely. Could you use it to DJ at a house party or your first ever DJ gig? Of course you can. It's just a little bit limited overall, but the basics of DJing are all there available for you to use. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you have found it interesting and useful. Please leave me a comment down below. Perhaps there's a setting that I have missed in this video or something that you like to use, and it would be great to share it with the DJ community here. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I am on the road to 15K subscribers, and I'll catch you in the next video.